Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today was the finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or should I say Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Spoilers are starting for those who have not seen it in 3, 2, 1. The craziest thing that I think hit home the most was the end of the show. So when the show opens, you get like almost like tile panels of the letters of the episode, and it'll say like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, at the end of the episode, this says Captain America and the Winter Soldier after Sam has put on his new suit, gotten his new wings, used the shield, and made his first like public statements as Captain America. Well, the reason I specifically want to touch on this is I've been reading some articles recently about how Disney is submitting their shows, being WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier currently, into consideration for Emmys nominations. It is very interesting the way they are doing it because it has revealed a little bit about the nature of where they think these shows are going. So for context, WandaVision, which we knew was supposed to be a direct lead into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, has been submitted as a limited series, basically cutting off the possibility for season 2, which we all assumed that it was just a one season show. Like, it was a pretty self-contained narrative. There was no real reason after the finale to go forward with that exact same show. However, Falcon and Winter Soldier has been submitted as a drama series. Submitting the Falcon and Winter Soldier as a drama series as opposed to the limited series, which they've already shown that they're, willing to do for some of the shows, does leave some ambiguity as to whether Falcon and the Winter Soldier will have a second season. And the reason I think that's particularly interesting is now it is called Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Could tie into a movie the same way WandaVision was intending to, but I'm super interested to see where this kind of stuff is gonna go. We kind of got our conclusion on the Flag Smashers and Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I was very pleased with the way the Flag Smasher narrative was summed up. I think it made sense that Carly died, and I think having it be at the hands of Sharon as opposed to anyone else, and specifically not at the hands of Sam, because now in Sam's first outing as Captain America, we've seen that he is not going to take on the same mentality as John Walker, which we knew Sam was not going to kill someone, but Carly kind of needed to be taken out because she was threatening so many people's lives, and even her own Flag Smasher crew was questioning whether or not they were doing the right thing by killing all the people in the GRC that they were planning to. So that narrative is kind of closed up in the first season of Falcon and Winter Soldier. However, there is so much interesting stuff going on with John Walker that I think it would be a complete waste to never see that character again, and especially because in this finale episode he gets a brand new moniker of the US agent, and he gets his new suit and everything. And then we have Valentina Contessa, or Madam Hydra, if I am understanding everything correctly. She is a character who we will see very shortly in Black Widow, in the movie. That was supposed to be her first appearance. However, she had a little cameo, and I just love Julia Louis-Dreyfus in this role. It would just be a waste if we never see John Walker again, and people have had such a visceral reaction to him that I think is really good for the series, and I think has almost reinvigorated it. Now that we've had 2 completed, or so far completed, Marvel shows, I think it's time to reassess what they actually add to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And what I think they add, I think they allow for characters who previously have not been strong enough to have their solo projects in the MCU and who are living in the shadows of a Captain America or an Iron Man, allow us to see their character progression. I'm trying to think of someone who has only seen Endgame, and then we'll see the next film that Sam appears in as Captain America, right? For them, all they know is that Steve hands the shield over to him, and now he has a new suit. That's pretty straightforward. However, for the rest of us, we have this entire narrative of what happens directly 6 months after he gets the shield, and we know there's all this intricate history. However, it's not going to punish people who don't watch this show or don't pay for the Disney Plus subscription, but it adds so much more. When John Walker shows up, to new people who are just watching films, they'll say, oh, US agent, but we'll be like, no, he was Captain America for a period of time. So I feel like it's kind of, the television aspect of the MCU is allowing for depth that I think the comics had, that the Marvel Cinematic Universe couldn't necessarily have, because I feel like by phase 2, people knew to stay around for the end credit scenes, right? People were looking for Easter eggs. They saw the overall plan of the MCU, but everything was kind of laid out and you got your whole experience in the movie theater when you went. But now you have this added, like, really, really deep backstories that you can add to your knowledge of the film. And you could say to someone, if they see the next film and are like, oh, I want to know more about John Walker, be like, watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's his, like, origin story as the U.S. agent, which I guess is maybe an interesting way to look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is as John Walker's origin story, because really, I'm not trying to say it doesn't have ramifications elsewhere. However, I do think that at the end of the day, what Disney is trying to do is make a show that is great for dedicated fans, that they can explore these characters and really get into the narrative nitty-gritty that they're not able to in a 2.5-hour film, but still not punish people who don't choose to watch the shows. I'm really grateful for these shows that give us that, because I think that's the part of the MCU that very base level is what we love about it, is we connect with the characters. We love learning about the characters. We love searching for the little Easter eggs. And I think that's what these shows' purpose is. It's not to be necessarily the most revolutionary thing. And I think that's what people were expecting as a whole. Like, Marvel wants you to go to the movies more than anything. That's what is going to make them the most money. And so if you can watch a couple episodes of The Falcon and Winter Soldier to catch up to speed, great. If not, they're still getting their box office billions. That is not to knock them. That is not to say they're not great. That is honestly to say, like, I'm so grateful that we have these shows, because we never would have gotten Sam's origin as Captain America. It would just be S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, he's got a new suit now. Great, moving forward. Whereas this, there's a lot of, like, extra weight, and there's just more character development there, which at the end of the day is why I love the MCU, is because of the characters. They're ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, and I think that's what makes them better than a lot of the other superheroes out there. I don't know exactly what to talk about with the finale, because a lot of things we knew were coming, right? We said we thought Sam was going to get new wings and a new suit. Got that. I love that his wings are vibranium, that they're the same strength and quality of the shield now. Bucky has righted all his wrongs, even though that last scene with the guy whose son he killed was so sad, so like, ugh, in the feels. For Sam, it was understanding the weight and gravity of his decision to become Captain America. For Bucky, it was righting his wrongs as the Winter Soldier and, like, basically washing clean of his sins and moving forward. For John Walker, it was a downward arc descending into madness to become the U.S. agent. And then we have characters like Sharon. I feel like Sharon, I gotta say it, I think we knew she was gonna be the power broker. I guessed that it was Val. Obviously, I just didn't, like, do the research on that. And Peggy would be so disappointed in you, Sharon. I'm sorry. She would be so disappointed with you. And I feel like it's kind of a cop-out. I mean, it's less of a cop-out than just saying, oh, the power broker is some mysterious figure. There's some loose ends there with the show that are intended to be loose ends that I just don't really know if I like. Like, the one thing I kind of want to copy and paste from The Falcon and Winter Soldier into the movies is everything with Sam and Bucky, everything with John Walker, and everything else can kind of just be left to the side, because I don't think the movies can be as geopolitical as this show was, or as tackling of social issues as this show was. I mean, I think that's a great part of what the show could do. I will miss the very groundedness of The Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I do think these are the kind of things that I just don't know how much a power broker is going to matter when we're back in Guardians of the Galaxy world with Thor and the Guardians. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I think when you go back to large-scale MCU after these shows, I don't know exactly where something like the power broker plays into it necessarily. I think this was a great show. Personally, at the end of it, and this is nothing against Falcon and Winter Soldier, I sincerely enjoyed week to week watching it more than I did WandaVision, just because I didn't know what was coming. I felt like each episode was technically an hour movie. Like, that was great. You got so much more content each week. The cliffhangers were so much better, so the experience of waiting for the next week was great. But WandaVision overall, I personally see myself going back and watching it through again more than I will with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Not because of quality, just genuinely my personal take on it is just, I think this sitcom format in a binge, like watching from beginning to end, works a little bit better than this show. I don't know how this show works when you watch it back to back to back, episode 1 through 6. I feel like it's a lot, and I think that's great for a piece of television. I think Loki, which might end up being a multi-season show, I do think of that, a show like Loki can hit the 45-minute mark per episode, where the cliffhangers are as good as Falcon and Winter Soldier, but it goes on as a longer form show, then I think that will be the most successful to-date show than something like WandaVision or even Falcon and Winter Soldier. Overall, I loved this series. I genuinely think it is the future of what television and streaming television will look like. I personally love episodic releases. I think that is the way our forefathers watched TV, and so just because we're used to binging things now, I think it's fun to force like fan collaboration from week to week when you're waiting for those episodes to come out. I don't know, I really love Marvel television. I think both these shows have given a lot of people a lot of doubt, but it's certainly not me. So please, come June, come back to this channel. If you're gonna leave me for a while, I understand we're gonna have a drought of Marvel content for about a month, a little bit over a month before we get Loki. But when Loki comes out, I'm taking this to the next level. I want to do more in-depth episode recaps. I want to do ratings of each episode. I love Loki, as we know from my Loki trailer reaction. I totally flipped out. He's one of my favorite characters, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all these episode reviews, recaps. I really loved doing these, and I will certainly do them in the future. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those, and turn on the notifications bell if you want. I personally think the notification bell is a little annoying, but also it helps me. So if you want to turn it on, like I've been saying this whole series, it's a free country, so you can do whatever you want. Like this video if you liked it, comment down below your feelings about the entire series, the finale, the future of Marvel television, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.